to always focus on being financially stable before getting into a dating relationship is something we are missing out on. And that is the emotional stability. Emotional stability should be something, in fact, it should be the first thing that should be put in place before we get into any Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. My name is Mata Ogo and I film about faith, beauty, relationship and lifestyle, and in today's video we're going to be talking about emotional security. Emotional security is a state of mind. It's a state of mind where you are able to account for your emotions, you're able to control your emotions, you're able to track down your emotions, you're able to be in charge, you're able to be in control of your emotions. You don't let your emotions go ahead of you, you don't let your emotions think faster than you. That is emotional security. In my own case, I always had this fantasy that I was not going to get into any dating relationship until I was 20 years old. Then I would just find the love of my life and just start dating. I'll be in cloud 9. We'll date for 3 years. After 3 years, we just get married. Like everything was so planned out and calculated in my head. So I was just waiting to, I was just patiently waiting to, fulfill that fantasy. But someone came along the way when I was 18 years old and I accepted to be in a relationship. And then I was expecting something different. I was thinking that, okay, having to get into a dating relationship, all those fantasies just come in place. Oh, this person is just going to be my everything. I was just going to be in cloud 9. It's going to be everything to me. It's going to fill up the void. It's going to make me feel whole. It's going to make me feel like a woman. But none of that happened. And I remember then I called him. I think after a month, I was like, you know what? I don't understand what's happening in this relationship. Nothing is happening. I mean, I was thinking something wonderful would happen. Nothing is happening. What is going on? I mean, this is not what people tell us relationship is all about. And then I think that was how we ended the relationship. That was one of the shortest relationships I ever had. So what am I trying to say? I feel at that point, I was not at that stage where I was emotionally secured. I was not at that point where my emotions were under my control. I still felt like I was not whole. I still felt like my emotions were just misplaced actually. So I had this void in me and I thought it was getting into a relationship that would actually fill it up, but in reality none of that actually happened. In the other relationships I even entered, even after that one, none of these things happened. Okay, and then it dawned on me that there's something missing actually. There's something that I need to do on my own, and that's definitely working on my emotional stability. I couldn't find that happiness. I thought this person was going to satisfy. I always had this feeling that, okay, this person I want to get into a relationship is always supposed to make me happy. It's always supposed to dry my tears. It's always supposed to be a shoulder I'm going to cry on at all times. It's always supposed to understand me. It's always supposed to be at my beck and call. But that's not what it's supposed to be. That's not what it should be. And when I don't get all these things, I start having this, getting into depression, you start feeling bad, you start feeling this person is not meant for me, or this person is not good enough for me. Do you understand? And that was my experience. That was exactly how I felt in some of my previous relationships, okay? And I don't think that's what it should be. So moving forward, we get better. So let's take it to the Bible. You remember the Samaritan woman, the woman at the well that was drawing water, and Jesus Christ met her and was asking for a cup of water, and then she told Jesus Christ that, who are you? Do you know you're not supposed to ask the Samaritan for water and all that? And Jesus Christ knew already who she was. He told her that, okay, you have gotten married to, he asked her where is her husband, and she said she doesn't have any husband. And Jesus Christ told her that what she had said is true. She has gotten married to 5 men, and then currently staying with a man that is not even her husband. And what did Jesus tell her? He told her that he asked for a cup of water, but he knew that this woman was really thirsty. His main purpose there was to make this woman know that she was thirsty, to make this woman know that she had a void in her that needed to be filled, to make this woman know that she has been misplacing the priority of people in her life. She misplaced the priority of people in her life, meaning that the place where God was supposed to fill her, the place where God was supposed to come fill that void, she was placing a man. She was thinking a man would fill that void for her. She was making or putting a man in place of God. That didn't work well at all for her. But when she saw Jesus Christ, what was her testimony? She said, "Come, let me tell you a man that knows all about me." So God knows us so well. Okay, God knows that, and He wants us to know that that void that you're trying to make a man feel in your life, it's just going to keep failing and failing at you, because really and honestly speaking, a man cannot fill that void for you. A woman cannot fill that void. I just hear people saying, "Oh, I'm very lonely, I need to get into a relationship." "Oh, I'm very lonely, I need a man in my life." "Oh, I'm very lonely, I need a woman in my life." And that's not what it's supposed to be. If you're lonely, you need God in your life. Go get God. Go find God. Go and experience happiness in Christ. Stop expecting that a man is going to be everything. Of course, the man you're dating should make you happy at some point. But that point where he's not able to meet up to all those things, what will happen next? You're going to just move over to the next person that is hitting a drum for you. We're just going to move on to the next person that's giving you attention. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be on your own, able to find satisfaction and find happiness. And this is definitely done by the power of God working through you. That's definitely the way you walk with Christ. Okay, it's not easy doing that on your own, and that's where the place of Christ, knowing Christ, comes in. So that's basically the point I'll draw in. When I passed through all those working relationships, then I knew that I really had to work on myself. I knew that I had to be a better part of myself. I knew that I had to not always rely on people for satisfaction. I knew I didn't have to always rely on people for this support. There's somebody that really cares, okay? And I'll be sharing ideas, I'll be sharing ways in which I actually was able to build my emotional stability to at least a good level. Okay, I'm not 100% emotionally stable, I won't even lie to you. There are times when I still feel that urge to be really dependent on people emotionally, and that's not bad. But when it starts getting to a point where I can't even talk to God about it, I can't even control myself, then that's where there's a problem. When I completely depend on people, that's where there's a problem. Okay, it's okay to once in a while talk to people about it. It's okay to once in a while share your emotional problems or challenges with people. It's okay to rely on people for emotional strength. But it becomes a problem when you think that they are the ones to always solve your emotional problems. That's not true. That is so not true. You need to come to a position where you know that there's only one person that knows about you. There's only one person that really understands you, what you're passing through. And when you're able to always constantly know that this is the person you are to be sharing these things with, even though you share it with people, okay, that's fine. But you also know that you come to that place that you know that, okay, this is the real person I'm supposed to be telling my challenge to. This is the real person I'm supposed to be sharing this problem with. Then that's where you're growing. That's the stage where you're developing, and that's the stage of progression. So the first thing I would say for building or developing emotional stability, like I said, first of all, is to talk to Christ. Just talk to Jesus about it. Talk to God about it. That was the Samaritan woman's first that was her first solution. She spoke to Christ, and it was not like she didn't even know that she was having a problem. She didn't know. But Jesus Christ knew she was having a problem. And when she spoke to Jesus Christ, he said, I will give you a water that you will not thirst no more. And he didn't give her or not, definitely. She said, I want that water. So talk to Christ about it. Open up to him about how you feel emotionally. Don't always rely on people to make you happy at all times. Whenever you feel that you're not happy enough, or you're not feeling satisfied, get close to God. It's that at that point where you need to even get more attached to Christ. Get close to God. Tell him about how you feel. Tell him about how your emotions are at that point. Stop relying on your boyfriend to be the God and everything in your life. You will not find satisfaction. You will only at that point probably just rub your back, get you ice cream. That would not change anything. Trust me, it would not. You will still come back to square one at the end of the day. So basically, that's the first step, I'd say. Get to know yourself more, get to know yourself better. Most times it's because we don't even know ourselves. That's why we are always complaining to people about this, about that in our life, because you don't even understand yourself enough. You feel that people understand you better. That's not true. You can understand yourself. Get to know yourself, get to know what you like, get to know what turns you off, get to know yourself truly. And trust me, that's a very good step in making progress in emotional stability. Trust me. And the third one would be to love yourself. It's one thing to spend more time with yourself, getting to know yourself. It's another thing to show love to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. I heard from one preacher at one time. I can't really remember his name. I really can't remember the person's name. But the person would say, why do you insult yourself? Most times I'll tell myself, Chibulo, you're foolish. You're very foolish. That's not nice. That's not really nice. I will not say this to somebody I love. I'm not the person that knows they are very foolish. So why would I say to myself that I'm very foolish? Use nice words to yourself. Love yourself. What you know you can do to somebody, do it to yourself. Same time, give yourself those gifts that are given to a man just for him to like you. Give it to yourself. Buy it and give to yourself. Love yourself. I mean, it's very, very important. Love yourself and take care of yourself. Okay? And that's really one step in progression in getting emotionally stable, stabilizing your emotional self. And the fifth one will be to trust yourself. Trust that you are good enough. Okay, tell yourself that you are good enough. Tell yourself that you are enough. Tell yourself that you are smart. Tell yourself that you are. Be kind to yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that you make a right decision by walking out of that relationship because you're not being treated right. Trust that you are smart enough to make a right decision for yourself. Trust in that decision you made to remain celibate until marriage. Trust yourself. Okay, trust that you're doing the right thing. Don't be double-minded or trying to always listen to what people are about or people's opinion about whatever decisions you make. Trust your own self. Okay, and the sixth point would be self-improvement. Try to always find ways to improve yourself. Try to always be a better version of you, better than you were the previous time. What is that? If you feel that there's something people always complain about, work on yourself. If it's something that you can do, then by all means do it. If it's something that is beyond you, pray about it and God is definitely going to help you. It's going to transform you. Even you'll be wondering like, God, this is not how I was last year. I mean, somebody like me, if you tell me something like this last year, I'll be so mad at you. But this is not how I am. And that's just how God is going to transform you, because He's even more interested in your own development. He's even more interested in you improving than you are interested in your own improvement. God is way more interested. So talk to Him about it and make deliberate efforts to be a better version of you every day. Now the seventh one is learn not to always stay dependent on people. That really tells on you so much. It tells on you so much. Learn not to always be dependent. It's good to depend on people. I mean, no man is an island on his own or on her own. but not all the time. Not all the time you depend on people for anything that happen in your relationship. Piam, you're going to tell everybody, see, oh, this, that, oh, clean. I mean, learn not to always depend on people for that emotional support. I know it's very necessary, don't get me wrong. It's good to, share those emotions with people when it's, but not every time you just build yourself to always complaining every time. You're always asking from people, always seeking emotional attention at all times. I was like that sometime. I will not even lie to you. I was like that, but I had to talk to myself. I mean, I can't keep telling everybody my problem except God. They're not going to do anything for me. The ones that love you will sympathize with you, finish. The one that don't even like you will laugh at you at your back. Will just say, oh, sorry. At your back, they're laughing at you. Like, why is this one always complaining every time? I really want with problems in life. So you see, learn not to always be dependent on people. You're capable of handling these things yourself. Speak to yourself, okay? You speak to yourself and you tell yourself that you're strong enough to handle it. And don't be hesitant to get or seek a therapist's attention when it's necessary, okay? The fact that you're trying to be independent doesn't mean that you just bottle up every nonsense in your mind. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that when you're trying to be independent, you do that with sense. It's not everything you just go out and seeking emotional support. Sometimes you think with your head, you play smart about it, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Don't be too quick to let everyone into your space. Guard your space, okay? Don't let just everybody date you. That's what causes, in fact, the height of emotional insecurity. Everybody that just tell you, oh, you're a fine girl, oh, I like you, oh, I want to date you. Bam, you have moved inside the house. Bam, you have said yes. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not everyone is. You should not let everyone into your space. You should first know this person that you're about to say yes to, whatever. Study the person. Not everybody is supposed to get into your space. Trust me. Last of all, be open to learning. Be open to seeking advice when need be. Don't lock up yourself. The fact that I say you should be independent doesn't mean that you should be foolish and lock up everything in your mind until you get to that point where you're so depressed and all you can think of is suicide. No, that's not what I'm saying. Learn to seek advice. Learn to seek help when you think it's necessary. Okay? Not when I mean seek help when it's necessary, meaning that it's not in all cases you just want to complain to people every time. You're always complaining. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that when you see that this thing is beyond you, or you feel that you don't have much wisdom in doing things like this, and you've prayed, then you talk to somebody that is very enlightened, not just any random person. Talk to somebody that you know is more experienced and enlightened in matters like that. Talk to somebody like that and get advice, get wisdom, okay? And so that is it for the ways I think one can build emotional stability. What do you think are ways you have built your own emotional stability? If you are emotionally stable, if you are emotionally secured, why don't you share with us in the comment section? How did you build your emotional security? How did you guard your heart? How have you been able to, be in charge of your emotions and your mood, your temperament and all that? Let me know in the comment section. Let us know in the comment section, because some people will be reading through and want to learn, So that's it. So in conclusion, I would say that take responsibility for your life, okay? Don't do things because you're trying to please somebody. Don't do that. If you don't know the reason why you're doing this thing, if you know it's a good thing, then find out why it's a good thing. Don't just do it because, oh, my mom said I should not do this thing, so I'm not going to do this thing. Oh, my daddy said I should not do this thing, so I'm not going to do this thing. What is your own reason for not doing this thing? Find your own ground, find your own conviction, and stand by it. Don't let anybody sway you into doing what you're not interested in doing. Don't say, oh, after everything I did for this man, I gave him my everything. I gave him my virginity. I gave him my everything. He now dumped me. Did he beg you? Did he beg you? My sister, did he beg you? Do it for yourself. Do these things for yourself, because trust me, you can't satisfy human being. You can never satisfy human being. That's why you see most people fall into depression. Most people even lose their mind and sanity in marriage, because they're not balanced. All they do is, oh, I will do this thing for my husband, I will cook, I will do this, I will do that, for just to show that you're capable enough. You cannot go and kill yourself. Nobody sends you a message. Be yourself and be real and be true to yourself. Stop doing things because you're trying to please people. You can never please a human being. You can never please a human being on 100%. You cannot. So do what you know you're capable of doing and take responsibility for your actions, okay? Don't say, oh, he broke up with me after everything I did for him. Who asked you to do it for him? Did she ask you to do it for her? Did he ask you to do it for him? Do what you can do, and do it because it came from a place of conviction. It came from a place of love. It came from a place that, okay, I want to do this thing because I want to do this thing, not because you want a reciprocated action. Don't do that, okay? I think that's one way I've learned to grow. I don't do things that I know I'm not capable of doing. If I know that, okay, I really cannot satisfy you in this aspect, I'm not going to push through. I'm not going to force myself. I'm not going to start feeling that I'm good in that area. I will not, my sister. I will so not do that, because at the end of it, you'll be the one on the losing end, and you'll be the one complaining, oh, after I cook all the things in the kitchen for him, and you're calling me, after everything he dumped me, he now go and marry my sister. Do you understand? Who sent you message? Nobody sent you message. So my sister, do what you know is within your capacity. Do what you know you're convinced of. Don't do it because people say you should do. You will end up regretting at the end of it, okay? Be yourself, be real, and take responsibility for your decisions and your actions. So with all that said, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I really enjoyed talking about it. I really pray that the Holy Spirit will guide our hearts, that we'll not just be hearers of the word, we'll not just be saying it with our mouth, we'll be doing it in our actions. Our actions will speak what we say. Our actions will speak what we've heard and what we've listened to. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it a like in the comment. Don't forget to give it a like down below, and also give me a nice comment. Subscribe to this channel if you are yet to, so you can enjoy more interesting videos like this. I hope it was interesting though. So thank you for watching. I love you, and I would love to see you also in my next video. Bye.